Hey everyone, and welcome. So, have you ever felt like you just weren't born with a green thumb? Well, if you have, then you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to bust that myth wide open and show you how literally anyone can bring a little green into their home completely hassle-free. You know the feeling, right? You bring home this beautiful, perfect-looking plant, you've got all the best intentions, and then a few weeks later, well, let's just say it's looking a little sad. If that sounds familiar, trust me, you are not alone. But here's the secret. The problem isn't you. It's about finding the right plant for your life.
And that really hits the nail on the head. In our crazy, busy lives, these kinds of plants aren't just a nice to have. They've basically become modern essentials. You get all the good vibes of having greenery around, but without a super demanding care routine.
Okay, so let's get into it. The term low maintenance gets thrown around all the time, but what does it actually mean when we're talking about a plant? What are we really looking for?
It's honestly that simple. We're talking about plants that are super adaptable, they're forgiving, and they don't need everything to be absolutely perfect to survive. In fact, a lot of them actually thrive when you forget about them a little bit. A little bit of healthy neglect is kind of their thing.
So what's the recipe for an easy care plant? Well, it really boils down to a few key things. First, they're incredibly forgiving. They can bounce back if you forget to water them. They can also handle dry soil, which is a total game changer. They're adaptable to the light you actually have in your home, not some perfect greenhouse. Plus, they tend to be pest resistant and are totally happy in just a standard potting mix. And here's the best part, the bonus. So many of them are also amazing natural air purifiers. All right, so we know what we're looking for, but how do you find the perfect green buddy for your specific space and your lifestyle? Let's figure that out.
It's actually a pretty straightforward process. Just run through this quick checklist. First up, assess your light. Take a day to just notice. Is your space bright and sunny, or is it more on the cozy, shadier side? Step 2, and this is a big one. Be honest with yourself about your schedule. Are you an overwaterer, an underwaterer? It's okay. Third, think about your space. Are you looking for a little friend for your desk or a big statement plant for the living room? And finally, and this one is so important, if you've got pets or little kids, always check if a plant is toxic before you bring it home.
Okay, with that checklist in hand, it's time to meet some of the absolute superstars of the low maintenance world. These are some of the toughest, most beloved plants you can get your hands on. First up, we've got a personal favorite of mine, the ZZ plant. I like to call it the shadow dweller because, honestly, it's one of the best choices out there for those corners of your home that don't get a ton of light. And this right here shows you exactly why the ZZ is such a rock star. It thrives in low to moderate light, perfect for apartments or offices. It's also super drought tolerant. See, it grows from these big underground potato-like things called rhizomes that store water, so it actually wants you to let the soil dry out. You combine that with those gorgeous, glossy, air-purifying leaves, and you've got a true triple threat. Next, let's talk about an icon, the snake plant. You might also know it as Sansevieria. If this plant is famous for one thing, besides being nearly impossible to kill, it's that it's an absolute powerhouse when it comes to cleaning the air in your home. And for anyone who loves that drapey, trailing vine look, please meet the pothos. This plant is the very definition of easygoing, and it gives you that lush, cascading greenery that just makes any shelf or hanging basket look incredible. So how do these two heavyweights stack up? Well, they're both amazing in low light, and they're both incredibly forgiving if you forget to water them. The real difference just comes down to the look and feel. The snake plant is your upright, architectural, air-purifying sculpture. The pothos, on the other hand, is your versatile, fast-growing vine. Honestly, you can't go wrong with either one. Now, for anyone out there who is truly a forgetful waterer, allow me to introduce you to your new best friends, succulents. These plants are literally built to be forgotten. Well, for a little while anyway. Yup, you are seeing that right. 2 to 3 weeks. That's how long many succulents can go between waterings. They store water in their thick, fleshy leaves because they evolved in deserts and other dry places. So they don't just tolerate neglect when it comes to watering, they actually need it to thrive. And the variety is just mind-blowing. You've got plants like the Haworthia, the zebra plant, with those incredible graphic stripes. You've got echeverias that form these beautiful flower-like rosettes. And then there are types like sedums and sempervivums, which are just unbelievably tough and resistant to pretty much everything. These are all fantastic names to look for when you're just starting out. So, after looking at all these amazing, resilient options, it's pretty clear, right? There is a plant out there for everyone. Your own green journey is just waiting for you to take that first step. And this right here is the most important thing to remember. It's time to completely forget the idea of a green thumb. Being good with plants isn't some magic power you're either born with or you're not. It's just about being a good matchmaker. It's about matching the right plant's needs with your home and your habits. It's all about finding that perfect fit. Now that you know the secret isn't you, but the plant you choose, the possibilities are endless. Think about your space, your light, and your schedule. That perfect plant is out there. So the only real question left is, which one is it going to be?